So, to all grandmothers, mothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, and to my friends, this is the day I meet the First Lady. So, I greet the First Lady and I told her that I had stayed over from the council because I felt led to. I was telling her about the peace that I felt in this church from the moment I walked in, and I did not even want to leave to go home. So, as she was listening to me standing there, she smiled, and I was telling her about the decor, and I told her it's second to none. And she gave me a hug, embraced my hand, and told me that she believes that the church should be as beautiful as her home, if not more beautiful. She said she liked to decor every season, and that she had decided that what she had at home at the time, she said, I think I'll share the extra that I have with the church. So she said she goes home and she sees the same hues of the harvest colors. And I told her it's really beautiful. And I told her that I had enjoyed the council so much, and I kept reading the motto that's on that wall facing the pulpit, and I told her that it really really stuck with me, and I asked her husband, the pastor, please let me know who came up with that motto, and he said, yeah, it was you, his wife, as I was telling her. So I asked her, I said, how did you come up with that motto? And at that moment, her face turned very serious. And she looked into my eyes and she told me that it came from a secret place. And she said, it's the same secret place that you are experiencing. So I kind of looked at her sideways because I didn't tell anybody from my church, her church, surrounding churches that were there. I didn't share it with anybody what I was going through, what my journey is, of course. So as I was looking at her sideways, she began to tell me about my secret place that was much like hers. And she told me that she also had been placed by God in a very secret place. And she said she couldn't talk to nobody but God. She said, the secret place that you are experiencing, and of course, I just started crying. The tears was rolling down my eyes because she had begun to read me like a book. So she says, as she handed me some tissue, she says, you really don't know why your journey began. But she says, as you're going through the ropes and different routes of your journey, just know that God is with you. She said, neither did I know about my journey as I was going through or when it was going to end. But she said, nobody knew where she was lodging, where she was sleeping. She said it was just her and God, just like for me. Nobody knows because she says at a personal time in your life, He protects you, but He leaves you in a secret place. People can frequent that place that you're at, but they'll never catch you. They'll never find you because He's hidden you. That's why it's a secret place. And I remember the parking lots that were so close to my church and so close to my job that nobody ran into me. Nobody stopped and questioned me. Why are you sitting in your van? Why are you over here? And why haven't you went home? As I tell you, I was at awe with everything she was telling me. And as she was talking to me, I felt the peace. And that's why I was telling you guys how great the peace was from the moment I walked into the church. I kept on stressing to you, peace, peace, peace. I felt that nobody else could feel because God was allowing me to be able to stay so that I could hear what the first lady that was going to tell me. I was captivated by the peace of that spirit. So I wouldn't leave. I would stay, knowing that the first lady's assignment wasn't until Sunday, where I will be alone. Nobody in the council will be coming up to her and distracting her. Now you understand? So it was just her and I. The pastor was sitting in the back because she had and I had taught after the church service. So as I was listening to her, and when I got back to the van, I started jotting down what she was telling me. It's still in my mind. And she says, sometimes you don't even know what's going to show up. She says, you can't tell anybody but God until He releases you from the secret place. We're still looking at each other. She knew what she had released into my spirit, the knowledge of the secret place. And I can remember the words of David in Psalms, how he was talking about the secret place. She told me, she said, continue in prayer. Continue in prayer. She said, you don't even know when the end is going to be. You don't know what day the end is going to be. But when the end of the secret place, that journey, has finished its course, you're going to know at that instant. You're going to think back how long He used you, how long you suffered, how long you had to keep quiet. And I was floored. I was floored. We embraced each other. She knew at that moment when to walk away because all I could do was sit down. All I could do was sit down and try, and I mean try, to regain my consciousness. It was very hard. Absolutely. Very hard. To hear that from her, to know that I had gotten confirmation, the confirmation as to why nobody found me, why nobody saw me, why God was dealing with me, why the months and the days were going by so fast, and that I would get up and not know, well, where am I going to spend my time? This is a weekend. I was comforted knowing that when I was at work, I had people to talk to, laugh and funny things to play and talk with my coworkers. On Sundays, I would spend time with my church buddies, but nobody knew. I didn't even think about being in a secret place until the First Lady revealed that to me. Well, I finally got up from my seat and I made my way to the van. And I noticed other members of a different ethnic group was coming into the sanctuary to start their church service. And I said, oh, this is a shared church building sanctuary. Okay, I had already checked out of my room when I left for church that morning. And I looked at my stuff in the van and I said, it's time to go back. I have so much strength because the First Lady ministered to me. I understand now, even greater, the will of God in my life at this current time. Before I drove off, I was just stunned. Excuse me. You can only imagine how I felt that God had placed her in my life at that time to tell me where I was at and to tell me where I was going. It gave me a lot of comfort to know that I was not alone. I finally started up the van as I was making my way to the busy highway. I knew that this weekend was definitely a called blessing. That God had a divine appointment for me at that council. From the scripture readings to the pastor's sermon to the First Lady's testimony. What she ministered into my life, I couldn't hardly drive. I was in the slow lane. And I knew for sure the angels had taken the steering wheel. Because as my eyes flooded with tears, and I'm going on an unknown journey, all I could do was thank God for this divine appointment in Bakersfield at the Restoration Center. So I got restored. When I wasn't looking to be restored, I got restored at the church council. Well, driving along the highway, smelling the cows, seeing the horses in the distance, seeing the vineyards and the orchards. I saw a fruit stand and I got off the highway and I decided to get some of the fruits that were still kind of like in season, knowing that this is October, first week of October. There were some fruits, very little fruits that were left, that were the plums and the peaches. I'm sure earlier in the summertime, yeah, they were very plentiful, of course, and the grapes were there. Paying what I had purchased, I kept on thinking, secret place. First Lady said, secret place. And she experienced a secret place at a time in her life. That's why she talked about that motto and had to write it out. Well, I believe that I'm gonna say a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna say just a little bit more. I told you that it will probably be long, the First Lady encounter. So before I knew it, I was in Pasadena. Well, it was about 5 o'clock in the evening, and I was thinking, when it gets a little bit dark, I know that tomorrow is Columbus Day, so it's a federal holiday. I don't want to be in the Pasadena parking lot when I know that a lot of cars are not going to be there because people had a federal holiday off. So I said, when it gets a little bit dark, I'm going to head to the Union Station and I'm going to park there overnight so that Monday they have food courts at the Union Station. And then I will have my freedom to move about and I won't look so suspicious in that parking lot all day in Pasadena uh, on Monday when nobody is really going to be in that parking lot. So yeah, I headed onto the. I wrote 8 o'clock. I was at the Union Station. It definitely was a secret place because there's many coworkers that travel back and forth to work from home. They go through that Union Station. Nobody ever saw me the times that I lived in the van during those times. As many times as they park there or frequent the train, coming from all around Los Angeles County, I was never questioned. So when God puts you in the secret place in your life, know that He's dealing with you. Know that He's dealing with you. He cares so much about you that He's protecting you for His own glory. So, with this, ladies, that's the end. And thank you for your patience through this long, extra long vlog. Be blessed. Thank you for your prayers. I'm praying with you as well. And for those ladies who are displaced, know that your secret place had a beginning. Definitely it has an end. God bless you. Looking forward to talking to you in a couple of more days. God bless.